Good morning students. Welcome to my YouTube channel Mulix Academy. So today's topic is glycolysis. In a previous lecture we have seen the carbohydrate, general carbohydrate, monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides, and in today's lecture we will see the metabolism of carbohydrate, or we will start from glycolysis. So let's start. See, as the name stands, glycolysis. It means glyco means glucose and lysis means degradation. So glycolysis is the process by which glucose is degraded. And what it will form? It can form pyruvate or lactate. Depends on the condition, like if it is an aerobic condition or oxygen is present, then pyruvate will form, and if it is anaerobic condition, then lactate will form. So what will be the definition of glycolysis? Sequence of reactions converting glucose to pyruvate under aerobic condition or lactate under anaerobic condition with the production of ATP. So glycolysis में glucose will be converted to pyruvate or lactate. In aerobic condition pyruvate will form, and in anaerobic condition lactate will form. So sequence of reaction converting glucose to pyruvate or lactate with the production of ATP is called glycolysis. It is also called Embden-Meyerhof-Parnas pathway, or in short EMP pathway. Remember this name, EMP, Embden-Meyerhof-Parnas pathway. Whenever we discuss any cycle in biochemistry, then there are some important points which we should remember. Like first we should write the definition, then the site where the cycle is taking place. Okay, in definition we should write about the substrate. What is the substrate and what are the product, or what is the product which will formed by that cycle. So substrate, then product, then site, then we will write the cycle, and then regulation. And if there is energetics in that cycle, then we should write down the energetics. So these are some important points which we should remember, we should always remember whenever we write any cycle. Okay. Now the significance of glycolysis. What is the importance of glycolysis? See, this is the only pathway that takes place in all the cells of the body. So first importance is that glycolysis takes place in all the cells of the body, and enzymes are present in cytosomal fraction, or in cytosol enzymes are present. Okay. Then second, we have already discussed in the definition that it can occur in aerobic or anaerobic condition. So if oxygen is present, then pyruvate will form. If oxygen is absent, then even glycolysis will occur and lactate will form. So it can occur in aerobic and anaerobic condition. Then we all know that brain is totally dependent on glucose for energy purpose. So it is very essential for brain. Then it is the only source of energy in erythrocytes, because erythrocytes are mitochondria lacking. So glycolysis is the only source of energy in erythrocytes, and then the intermediates of glycolysis are useful for the synthesis of amino acids and fats. So we can synthesize fats and amino acid also from the intermediates of glycolysis. And then last, the most of the reactions of glycolysis are reversible. Like out of the 10, 3 reactions are irreversible. 3 reactions are irreversible, and almost 7 reactions are reversible, and these reversible, that's why it is also that's why these reactions are used for gluconeogenesis. What is gluconeogenesis? Genesis means synthesis, and gluco means glucose, and neo means from the new substrate. So glucose is synthesized from the new substrate. That is called gluconeogenesis. So out of the 10, 7 reactions are reversible reaction which are used for the gluconeogenesis. So these are the significance of glycolysis. Now the phases of glycolysis. Total 3 phases of glycolysis are present. Like first is energy investment phase. Investment means we are investing energy. We are using energy. It means ATP will be consumed. Okay, then splitting phase, it will degrade. Degradation phase, then energy generation phase. It means we are producing ATP. So these are the 3 phases of glycolysis. Now we will discuss in detail. Yes. Now first phase is energy investment phase. Investment means in this phase ATP will be consumed. So the substrate for glycolysis is glucose. So glucose will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate. One phosphate group will add in the glucose, and this phosphate will come from ATP. ATP will be converted to ADP, and one phosphate group will be given to glucose, and it will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate, and this will happen in the presence of hexokinase or glucokinase. We will discuss later what is the difference between hexokinase or glucokinase. Okay, next glucose 6-phosphate will be converted to fructose 6-phosphate, and we all know that glucose and fructose are isomers. Isomers means the molecular formula is same, only the functional group is different. In glucose, functional group is aldehyde, and in fructose, functional group is keto group. So the enzyme will be isomerase. Because these are the isomer, so enzyme will be isomerase. These are hexose sugar, so enzyme will be phosphohexoisomerase. Second enzyme, then fructose 6-phosphate will be converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Again 2 phosphate group, 1 phosphate group will come from ATP. So ATP will be converted to ADP. Again enzyme is kinase, and this time the name is phosphofructokinase or PFK. Whenever the kinase will come now, there is a conversion of ATP or ADP. Okay, isomerase means isomerization. So very simple steps, glucose will be converted to glucose 6-phosphate, one phosphate group will be added, and this phosphate group will come from ATP. So ATP will be converted to ADP, enzyme is hexokinase or glucokinase. Then glucose 6-phosphate in presence of phosphohexoisomerase will be converted to fructose 6-phosphate. Then fructose 6-phosphate again in presence of PFK will be converted to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. This is the energy investment phase, because in this phase 2 ATP are consumed. In this stage 2 ATPs are consumed. Yes. Now second phase is splitting phase. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate in presence of aldolase enzyme will convert to dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. This is 6-carbon compound, and when it will degrade, it will form dihydroxyacetone phosphate. It is 3-carbon compound, and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. It is also a 3-carbon compound. So 2 3-carbon compound will form, and dihydroxyacetone phosphate and DHAP and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. These are isomers. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate contain keto group and glyceraldehyde contain aldehyde group. So DHAP will convert to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate in presence of phosphotriose isomerase. Again isomerase enzyme will be used. because these are isomerization and these are 3 carbon compounds, so triose. So phosphotriose isomerase enzyme will convert DHAP to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Now there are 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So now onwards we will count 2 molecules. Now the third stage is energy generation phase. Generation because we will form ATP. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate in presence of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. Whenever there is dehydrogenase enzyme, there is a conversion of NAD, NADH. Like when there is a kinase enzyme, there is a conversion of ATP and ADP. In dehydrogenase presence, there is a conversion of NAD and NADH. So enzyme will be glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. It will convert glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, or we can say 1,3-BPG. Again, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate in presence of kinase, phosphoglycerate kinase. In presence of phosphoglycerate kinase, it will convert to 3-phosphoglycerate kinase. So here ADP will be converted to ATP. This is called substrate level phosphorylation. We will discuss in detail later. So 3-phosphoglycerate. Now 3-phosphoglycerate in presence of phosphoglycerate mutase. It will convert to 2-phosphoglycerate, then 2-phosphoglycerate in presence of enolase enzyme will convert to phosphoenol pyruvate, and phosphoenol pyruvate in presence of pyruvate kinase. Kinase again ADP will convert to ATP and pyruvate kinase will convert PEP to pyruvate. And in aerobic condition, pyruvate is a product from glucose. So glucose will form pyruvate. So this is the glycolysis cycle. Now this is the short form, like glucose in presence of hexokinase or glucokinase, it will convert to glucose 6-phosphate. This is the irreversible step in glycolysis. Then glucose 6-phosphate in presence of isomerase enzyme will convert to fructose 6-phosphate, reversible. Then fructose 6-phosphate in presence of phosphofructokinase. This is irreversible step. It will convert to fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, then aldolase enzyme. Fructose 1,6-bisphosphate will be degraded to DHAP and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, reversible. Then glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate in presence of dehydrogenase enzyme will convert to 1,3-BPG, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Then again kinase enzyme. This kinase will be reversible. So this is the important. This is the kinase reaction which is reversible. 1,3-BPG will be converted to 3-phosphoglycerate or 3-PG. Then phosphoglycerate mutase will convert to 3-phosphoglycerate to 2-phosphoglycerate. Then enolase enzyme. This is enolase kinase. This is mutase. Now enolase will convert 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate and then pyruvate kinase. Pyruvate kinase. Kinase enzyme again irreversible step and it will convert to pyruvate. So in glycolysis there are 3 steps which are irreversible steps. These steps are regulatory steps of glycolysis. We will discuss in detail, and in the next lecture we will discuss the energetics, we will discuss the regulation, and we will discuss the conversion of pyruvate to lactate in anaerobic condition. Thank you for watching. Thank you.